Let's join word Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Ma'aleh HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I just want to say, I think it was Tuesday night, we had a gathering, the first time in 4 years since COVID, for prospective members, those who are considering joining. We hadn't gathered in person for 3.5 years to do that. And the building was busy, so we met in the atrium, and I could hear music coming from the sanctuary, a rehearsal for the High Holy Days. And so I brought them in, and I hadn't heard Cantor Zell sing for 3.5 months, and chills went down my spine. And we walked in and just stood in the back. I think every single one of them is joining Temple Beth Elohim. But it is really good to have Cantor Zell back. Deeply grateful. And let's do this. Let's introduce ourselves to the people around us. Say hello. If they need their physical distance, give them their physical distance. And any children in our midst, we have tzedakah. Rabbi Rosen has tzedakah. If you would like to give a coin.
Baruchuni L'Shalom,
Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Page 121. Cantor Safran, would you light candles for us this evening? You can bring up your childhood buddy if you'd like. There she is. I had my first Montreal bagel last week.
I'm Toronto.
Yeah, I know, you're Toronto, but I figured Canadians could take pride in each other, but I guess not. Page 121, let's read together. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah
Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel shalom. Shabbat shalom. And Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Page 128, Yidid Nefesh. Let's continue our celebration of Kabbalat Shabbat, welcoming the Sabbath. Middle of the page or on the screen. Yidid Nefesh Avorachaman. Yidid Nefesh Avorachaman. Heart's delight, draw your servant. Continuing on page 138, rejoicing and bringing in Shabbats. Beloved, come to meet the bride. Beloved, come to greet Shabbat. Keep and remember a single command. That God's name is one.
shalom, atzeret bana.
Come, enter.
Gam
Enter in gladness and in joy.
ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה, הולך דודי לקראת כלה, או פני שבת נקבלה, הולך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Page 146, the call to prayer.
Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach.
And together we respond. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Yadalai, lai, lai, yadalai, lai, lai, yadalai, lai, lai, yadalai, lai, lai,
Yadalai, lai, lai, yadalai, lai, lai, yadalai, lai, lai, yadalai, lai, lai.
Let's all be seated as we continue on page 148, 149, taking your choice in English or Hebrew, creating an orchestra of sound loud enough to hear your voice in prayer.
We begin with these words from this prayer, or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or, light into darkness and darkness rolls into light again.
Or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or.
You can add a harmony if you're comfortable.
Or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or. One more time. Or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'dvar Hashem. Baruch b'potach she'anu v'tfilei mishinei timu v'choshech mipnei Moabim.
Baruch atah
Baruch
Adonai
v'rashamo.
Hama'ari v'ravim. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu mishpatim otanu limadita.
Perhaps just our voices.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadita.
Deep breath.
Shema
Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai
Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Amen.
Page 154, we'll chant V'ahavta together. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'otecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha vishinantam levanecha v'dibarta ba'am b'shivtecha b'vetecha uv'lechtecha v'aterech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha וקשרתם נאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים אלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Page 158, we celebrate our freedom and the moment that it happened with Micha Mocha.
Let's join together.
Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef eleh. Malchutecha ra'uvanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam. Ze Eli anu ve'ameru, ze Eli anu ve'ameru. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. ונאמר כי פרע אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Page 161, Let There Be Love, and Hashkivenu.
Thanks for letting me put you on the spot.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Leshalom. V'cha'amidenu, shomreinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu, sukat shlomecha. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Lishalom. Hashkivenu, love and understanding among us. Hashkivenu, peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. One more time. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
Page 162. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, lidorotam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, lidorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti leolam, oti leolam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות לדורותם ברית עולם.
Page 164, we invite you to rise if you're able in body and spirit. For the Amidah, we say, God, help us to open our lips for this prayer.
Adonai sifatai tiftach v'yagid tehilatecha Adonai sifatai tiftach v'yagid tehilatecha Open up our lips so we may praise your name. Open up our hearts so we can feel our pain. Open up our souls and let our love make us whole. And we will praise your name. Adonai sifatai tiftach v'yagid tehilatecha Adonai sifatai tiftach v'yagid tehilatecha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש
kadosh v'shimecha kadosh u'kdoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha Selah. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, yaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, yaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'imeru amen. Ve'imeru amen. Ve'imeru amen. We ask for peace on earth and we say amen. Ve'imeru amen. As one, and we say amen.
No words. No words. I think all we can do is allow that beautiful music, allow our cantor's voice to lift our spirits as we join together. We're going to join together in our Misha Berach, our prayer for healing. But first, I want to put a call out. Anyone in your lives who are suffering, who are in need of just a little extra something on this Shabbat, if you wouldn't mind standing up and the clergy will come around so that we can hear the names, and we'll join together in singing Misha Berach on page 371.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Yisheberach Imotenu Mikol habracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Before we launched into it, I was remiss. There were a couple names we wanted to mention, and while the little bits of healing energy still kind of hang in this room, I'd like to mention the names Craig Weiner and Shlomes Masha Bat Kraina. We're now going to turn to some Shechianu moments, some moments in our lives in which we're particularly thankful for, joyous times, sacred occasions, birthdays, anniversaries, all the above. Is there anyone who is celebrating an upcoming simcha, perhaps? Birthday, anniversary. There must be someone. Granddaughter's 8th birthday. Oh, wow. Very nice. Thank you. Yeah. Very nice. I've heard that, yeah. How are you feeling? I feel great. Yeah, good. Good. How are you feeling?
I can guess how she's feeling, I guess.
Yeah. Wow. Mazel tov. 17 years of marriage, for those who didn't hear.
Beautiful.
So with all that joy still in the room, let's get to it. Shechianu, page 648.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kimanu v'hegianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kimanu v'hegianu lazman hazeh.
And with the joy still in the air, I want to mention that this week was Judy and Paul Zorfus's 58th wedding anniversary. I think they're on Zoom. Mazel tov, two of you. All right, so I have a few light words of Torah this evening, heading into the High Holy Days. We'll get all the deep stuff next week. Over Labor Day weekend, I watched Adam Sandler's new film streaming on Netflix. Anyone else? You are so not invited to my bat mitzvah. It is currently the second highest streaming film on Netflix and has many in the Jewish community talking. Maybe it's because the film stars Adam Sandler himself, and he casted his whole family as well. Or maybe it's just how much Jewishness, Hebrew, and Yiddishkeit are all included in the film, and it's a lot. Or that Rabbi Rebecca, played by Saturday Night Live star Sarah Sherman, steals the show. Or maybe it's Idina Menzel's supporting role, or the Jewish humor. Much of the movie focuses on teenage identity and social drama, middle school life, and becoming a bat mitzvah. But, spoiler alert, those are not my biggest takeaways. Don't worry, I'm not going to ruin it for you. It is not my intention to provide you with a movie review, and from what I have read and heard, they are mixed, so you'll have to stream the film yourself if you have not. Whatever you may think, and for the record, Rabbi Sissenwein and Rabbi Rosen loved it. Thumbs up. I do believe that it is an important movie to see socially and culturally. There are hardly any films whose entire focus is on modern Jewish life and values. Most films focus on Jewish history, the Holocaust, and anti-Semitism. Rarely do they lift up Jewish joy, the joy of Jewish community, practice, and values. This is also a film made by Jews, for Jews, not just about Jews. I think it's important to pay attention to what Jewish representation exists in the media and in our society. Representation refers to how the media or the arts portray characteristics of a group of individuals. It's important to remember that what we see and what we don't see in film and media affects our perception of reality. Our Torah portion this week, Nitzavim, speaks of representation, perhaps in its earliest form. The portion begins in Deuteronomy chapter 29, Atem nitzavim hayom kulchem lifnei Adonai Elohechem. You stand here this day, all of you, before Adonai your God, every person and every household in Israel, to enter into the covenant with God. This moment in Torah serves as a convening of the people before God. It's an impactful moment when all types of Israelite people of different ages, generations, genders, and professions are accepted into the covenant with God. In its simplest form, this is one of Judaism's first texts on inclusion, recognizing that the community is diverse and all deserve representation. You all nitzavim, as is commonly translated, you all stand here this day. But the root in the word nitzavim can also be conjugated to mean to be established, to be stationed, or to take a stand. Adam Sandler's film makes me ask the question, just how established are Jews in our society? How well are we represented in the media and in the arts? How well are our neighbors and surrounding communities aware of our culture and its values? How well do we stand up for ourselves? Do we feel, as the Torah commands, so well represented as if we are standing with God on the peaks of Moab, ready to enter the promised land? Included, understood, embraced, blessed? Or do we have work to do? Until the Messiah comes, the Jewish answer is, we have work to do. I will say that I think that Adam Sandler does give a valiant effort when it comes to representing Judaism to the world in this movie. In his own quirky way, Sandler, the man who brought us the Hanukkah song, has been trying to give us Jews a boost for years. His new film is produced and directed by Jewish people, and the cast is 80% Jewish as well. Sandler and director Sammy Cohen consciously thought about representing the Jewish community. They had actually a few of our rabbinic colleagues as advisors. In interviews, they say that they were very aware that the film, depicting the life of a middle or upper class suburban Jewish family and community, is a very specific, limited version of what being Jewish in America is. But what is important to them is that Jewish values like honoring our parents, loving our family, tikkun olam, repairing the world, and teshuvah, forgiveness, shine through, and that they show that Judaism is a modern and flourishing religion today. It may not surprise us that Sandler's main tool to represent Jewish life in this new film is humor. You probably could have guessed that. But have you ever thought about why humor is such a Jewish trait and why we specifically use it when representing Judaism as a religion and a culture to the rest of the world? Well, we Jews do humor well, and we've been doing it for a long time. From the biblical story of Purim to comics to Yiddish theater and on. Sandler and co-star Sarah Sherman fit right in line when it comes to Jewish humor. Jewish humor takes on a few characteristics. It laughs in the face of power. It's like when we say, and I'm sure you can finish my sentence, "You tried to kill us, we survived, let's eat." I'd like to think that this entire concept of an extravagant bar mitzvah celebration, as we see in the film, comes from our Jewish sense of humor. Here we are launching another Jewish leader and do-gooder into the world, continuing our tradition from generation to generation. Take that. We deserve to celebrate, right? Jewish humor also ensures that we, as an other, remains unique. There are certain special experiences that only we as a Jewish community share. We know that our traditions are unique, and we're proud of it. And finally, Jewish humor allows us to address issues that are otherwise too uncomfortable, painful, or awkward. We are really good at being self-deprecating, making fun of ourselves in order to accept the difficult fate that we have been given. Humor has become our coping mechanism for Jewish pain. These seem to be our go-to tactics when it comes to representing Judaism to others and to ourselves. I'd like to argue that using humor, as Adam Sandler does, is a starting point. It helps us to loosen up a bit, but we can go much deeper. What about sincerely conveying Jewish joy, Jewish values, traditions, family connections, wisdom, and teachings, and so much more? I'd like us to consider how we are going to represent Judaism as our Jewish identities in the coming year. If not humor, then what will be our tools? I'm assuming the issue of Jewish representation will come up for us quite often in the coming year. Even just this past week, I found myself writing a note to our son's baseball coach explaining that they are scheduled to play on Rosh Hashanah. Instead of anger, I chose to lead with values. How might the Jewish kids feel? Isn't this an opportunity for others to learn why the High Holy Days are so important to us and to create a community where celebrating our unique religions is not a conflict? I'm sure that our college students will feel the need to speak out about the representation of Israel on campus this fall. And God forbid, we might even be faced with a public act of anti-Semitism in our schools or our workplaces. And of course, many of us will feel underrepresented in the media or the marketplace. For I remember growing up in a small Midwestern town where there were hardly any Jewish foods or products in the local stores, let alone Jewish artists or programs in local theaters or venues. My mom taught me to call the supermarket manager pre-Passover to make sure that the matzah would be stocked on the shelves at the right time, to make sure that Hanukkah was represented at the town winter holiday celebration, and to buy Jewish products wherever I could find them, to demonstrate that yes, indeed, there is a demand. The truth is that we have the power to represent ourselves and our community. Atem nitzavim, we can stand up and make sure that we are valued, represented, and included. We can teach and share our traditions. We can invite and include others to join us. We can speak out when we are misrepresented, and we can convey a positive and joyful sense of Judaism to the world. I am grateful to Adam Sandler for bringing Judaism to a mainstream platform for all the world to see. Now I think it's our responsibility to take it from here. And this Shabbat, we have been called Atem Nitzavim, to show up and represent our unique selves. The Ramban, a classic commentator of the 13th century, sees this Nitzavim, this gathering, as a reenactment of Sinai, the greatest moment of representation and affirmation in our people's history. Rambam takes it a step further and says that we are given the opportunity to stand at Sinai every time we stand before the Aron HaKodesh, before the open ark. And so, in just a moment, I will invite you all to rise, whether it is in body or in spirit, to stand together as a community in full representation, in full voice, with great pride as we affirm our connection to God and our Judaism. Aleinu l'shabeach. It is our responsibility to proclaim God's greatness. May this glory be revealed in the heavens above and manifest throughout the world. Ken Yehi Ratzon. May this be God's will. Page 586.
עלינו לשבח לאתון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשי, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו פורים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
Page 598, Mourner's Kaddish, and we invite those who are in the sanctuary, if you are a mourner in our midst, mourning the loss of an immediate family member during the past 30 days, a parent during the past 11 months, or are here to observe Yahrzeit, to rise if you're able, or raise a hand to recite the names of those individuals you're remembering. On Zoom, if you will use the chat room to record the names of those individuals. Did we miss anyone? If not, then let's all rise in support of the mourners in our midst. I add Those relatives or members of our community who have passed during the past 30 days: Gil Aliber, Alfred Fisher, Norman Friedman, David Goldstein, Melvin Kaplan, Richard Moscow, Arnie Slavitz, and Carol Whitehorn, who passed away this morning, and her funeral will take place next week on Monday, and Jim Gieser, who also passed away this morning, or yesterday actually, and his funeral will take place on Sunday. Let us now, and actually let me add, I've been asked to read the names of Herbert Cohen, the husband of Sheila Cohen, the father of Betsy Kessler, Lillian Gandelman, the mother of Edith, Genevieve Sampson, the grandmother of Rabbi Lazar. Let the mourners in our midst lead us with these words, page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yamad yivrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayachon v'yamechon v'chayed chol Beit Yisrael. V'galav v'zman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'grusha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata ta'miran b'yama v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah min Shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Yaseh shalom. Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Before we conclude with Kiddush and Motzi, with a special leader for Kiddush, Rabbi Harper, some announcements for all of our learning.
Of course, so it is a busy weekend in the life of our community as we are approaching the High Holy Days. Tomorrow evening is Slichot, our service of preparation. We'll be gathering at 8 p.m. for a bonfire outside with stories and song to help us to lead into our Slichot service, which will be hybrid starting at 9:15, followed by an optional meditative sit in front of the open ark. So we hope you will join us then. Before then, tomorrow morning, Minyan is returning to its hybrid form. So at 10 a.m., please join us in the Beit Midrash or online. We will be reading Torah in addition to studying Torah, praying together. We hope you'll join us. Many, many things going on Sunday. Please check your flyers. Please check your e-blast, all of those good things. And then we're excited in 1 week. The High Holy Days are here. With many more announcements to come. So, hoping to see you next week.
Did not make our publicity. September 12th, this week, is a big day in Israel as the Supreme Court makes an important ruling. There is a protest in Newton Center that we invite people to join for the Boston for Democracy in Israel movement. Professor Ori Aronson, a legal scholar, will be addressing the current issues and the Supreme Court. And that will be in Newton Center at the War Memorial Auditorium in Newton City Hall this coming Tuesday at 6 p.m. And finally, I want to thank Rabbi Sapphire. Where are you? Oh, she's on Zoom. And I was just going to do the movie reviews. Barbie, a Jewish movie. Yes. Yes. Rhea Perlman playing the creator Barbie. 2 thumbs up. Oppenheimer.
Very Jewish.
2 thumbs up. And Bradley Cooper with the Jewish nose. I say totally acceptable. Let's get over it. It'll be a positive portrayal. So, a lot of Jewish movies. You don't like the Jewish nose for Leonard Bernstein?
I don't, it doesn't even look like Leonard Bernstein's nose.
All right, Romy, will you come up here and help lead us in Kiddush? Because tomorrow morning you will be called forward. Oh, we're going to add an Adon Olam.
We were going to do Adon Olam and then Kiddush.
Yes.
Is that,
okay.
how do you feel about that, Rabbi?
That is fine because one of the reasons we are adding Adon Olam is before we do Kiddush, we're going to let the cantor leave so we can keep her well. So after Adon Olam, she's going to leave and go home and rest. We're glad you're back.
Thanks,
and
Rabbi.
then Romy will take over leading the service, okay?
Yeah.
So here we go.
Let's join together.
Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'ein Nasa V'chefzo Kol
625.
Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh Ve'hu Yeh B'tifara Ve'hu Echad V'yein Sheni Lehamshir Lo Leachbira B'li Reshit V'li Tachlit V'lo Ha'oz Ve'hamizrach Ve'hu Eli V'chai Goali V'tzor Chevli V'yein Tzara Ve'hu Nisi Umanos Li Menat Kosi B'yom Ekra B'yado Afkir Ruchi B'et Ishan V'ha'ira V'im Ruchi Geviati Adonai Li V'lo Ira.
So we have Romy Seidman joining us as she becomes bat mitzvah tomorrow morning. Thank you, Rabbi Rosen. That was so helpful. So it is your honor, Romy, to get us started with a nice Baruch, and everyone will join right in. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'im b'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu. Lift it nice and high. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. You get the sip. It's just juice. We're pretty sure. We have a new custodian, so let's make sure. Is it? Phew. Okay.
You can uncover
His
the
name
challah.
is Chris, just in case you haven't met him.
And then we as a community want to say to you and to your entire family, Mazel Tov.
Mazel
We
tov.
know you're going to do a great job tomorrow. Let's join together in Motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avot. The round challahs are on the shelves, obviously, so you get to take a bite. And now we can say, take a bite, Oren. Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos, everyone. We'll see you in the New Year.